How do you keep writing when you reach the hard part? Hi, everybody. I'm Elke. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an author and a fiction book coach, and I'm just a writer on their own journey, trying to help as many writers as possible along the way. So I just wanted to jump in here and share with you 5 ways that to help you get through the difficult part when you hit the difficult part of writing. So the first thing you can do is to just connect or reconnect to your creativity. Because I think sometimes when we're in the middle of it, we're so drained creatively that we just can't seem to get to the joy of enjoying the process of writing. Because let's face it, our creative well is just drained. And some ways that you can do that is to read, take a walk in nature. That works wonders for me, as well as to connect with other writers. I think we take this one for granted. I know for me, whenever I feel isolated, because when we are writing, especially when we're writing the difficult part, we tend to isolate ourselves because we think that, we need to do it all and we need to do it alone. When the truth is, when we connect with other writers and reconnect to our creativity, then this helps to encourage us, inspire us, and help us to remember that there is more than what is in this little world of what we're writing and working on, right? So that's really important. The second way that you can get through the difficult part is to disconnect. And this means disconnecting from social media, because let's face it, a lot of times what comes up in our news feed isn't always things that encourage and inspire us. And if this is really feels like it's sucking the joy out of it, is to just take time. It doesn't have to be for weeks or months or anything like that. Maybe just take a day or a weekend. And when you disconnect, is to use that time to maybe focus on, just writing, or alone time to rest. Because sometimes we could just be that we're just exhausted and we just need to disconnect from all the stuff that's coming at us and just rest our minds, our bodies, so that we can refresh and go back to the work and get through that difficult part. The third thing that you can do is to journal. I love journaling. It really helps me because I think most creatives, it's all going on in our minds. There's so many things coming at us, and either externally or even within our own thoughts, right? So journaling really helps sort of get all of the mash and mess that's going on in our heads down. And what that can look like is journaling, maybe what you're struggling with, journaling, where you're at, what's going on, and just sort of, like I said, just flush everything out of your mind so that you can basically, in a sense, start with a fresh slate. And if you're like me, where sometimes you're journaling and it just makes it worse, keep going until you get to where you can feel that, hey, it's all gone, it's out, I'm ready to start fresh. So that is a great tool that you can use, is to journal. The fourth one is another one of my favorites, and that is to meditate. I love to meditate. I can't tell you how it's improved my life on so many levels. But how you can use it for a creative aspect is just, it really helps to clear out a lot of our overthinking, our negative thoughts. And if you're like me, when I first started meditating, I really struggled with overthinking, thinking that, my mind had to be blank and clear while we're meditating. And the truth is, that's not possible. Let's face it, especially when you're a creative. But what it does allow you to do is to get into the practice of being calm, getting centered, and then just allowing those thoughts to come in, and more importantly, to drift along, and being able to learn how to, like I said, not overthink, be calm. So that is a great exercise that you can use when you're going through the difficult parts. And it takes time. If you're like me, I used to fall asleep. That's normal. That's part of the process, as well as a lot of things coming at you at the same time. But if you keep at it, it really helps. Guided meditations were really helpful for me to teach me sort of how to go through the process, so that I got over to the less chaotic side of what happens when you start meditating. And the fifth and final thing that you can do to get through the difficult part of writing is to find and try different methods. And I say this because the truth is, all these things that I just mentioned, sometimes they will work in one phase when it gets difficult, and another time it might not work. There may be other things that that might work better for you. The most important thing is to just keep trying it, trying different things that is going to help you to get through the difficult phase of your writing. And this is important because it helps you to learn how to get through that difficult part, and also to recognize that, you know, these difficult times, they come and go, because it's really hard sometimes when we're in the difficult part of writing a story or just in our writing lives in general to remember that this too shall pass. And I think when we try different methods, we learn that this is just a phase, and we can help ourselves to work through and get through this difficult part and back to the joy that we have and that we know that we can have with writing. So I would love to hear from you. What are some tools and tricks that you use to work through the difficult parts of whether it's when you're writing a book, or perhaps it's just when you hit difficult roadblocks in your writing life? It might be something that would be encouraging and inspiring to me as well as other writers. So, and if you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. And just thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.